Welcome to the 18th of December. We've got 6 days left before Christmas is here. And astrologer Steve Judd, with 2 Ds, he inspired me to look at the solstice, the winter solstice day on Saturday. The winter solstice happens on Sunday. And he is considering Monday the 21st as a new day, a new beginning, a new era. And I love you for that, Steve Judd, because it resonates with me. Some wise men who proclaimed themselves to be priests many years ago decided that we no longer have 13 months, but whenever it has become the 1st of January, for me the past 10 years where I've been completely evolved spiritually, it hasn't resonated with me. So whenever I woke up at the 1st of January, I was like, where's the new beginning? Where's the freshness of this new year? Where's the new chapter? So whenever we come to the 1st of March and April, I'm like, now I can feel it, because that's also where the astrology calendar, how do you say that? The astrology calendar celebrates New Year. And I agree with that. But I always appreciate solstices, whether it's the winter solstice, like this Sunday, whether it's the summer solstice, the spring or the fall solstice. From Sunday, it's changing. The days are going to be longer and longer, and I can't wait. So for me, Monday, the new year, the new beginning, the new chapter, it's here. It's me with my jingle bells. Can't you see that? So this year's Christmas calendar has been about what the fuck went on for this year. And it's also has been about you and your purpose, because it's connected. All of your life lessons, everything that you've been through, and everything connected to your parents is a part of your purpose. So this year's spiritual Christmas calendar has been about that. Your challenges, this year, it's been about the last 15 years. And it's about your purpose, because it's all connected. You can't just look at, I had a boyfriend when I was 17 and that is still causing me pain. No, because if you experienced pain when you were 17, it was connected to another experience in your childhood. If going through a divorce is freaking fucking painful, but it can only be as painful as a previous pain you have experienced when you were a child. And if your parents got divorced, it will be even harder for you to get divorced. But you got divorced because you did see in your childhood that marriage wasn't easy. So everything is always connected. And if we forget to look at life at that perspective, we miss out on a continuous growth, and we miss out on learning from day to day and evolving as these human beings we are. When you came back, just like when I came back, we signed up to learn. We signed up to learn through pain and suffering and challenges. We signed up to come here to grow, evolve, and become smarter and wiser and more enlightened. We came here because we wanted to. It was voluntarily. My hair today it's wild and crazy and many more things. So just remember, this year is where it all comes together. So for me this fall, I've experienced that, oh fuck, what a pain. It's me, it's me talking. I have to go back, because in 2023, which was a 7-year, fuck, that was hard. Oh fuck, that was a hard year. And 2024 was an 8-year, and now we're in a 9-year, and soon is the first year of a new chapter, a new beginning. In 23, I had to let go of all of my spiritual friends. We weren't aligned anymore. I chose friends I liked, but they did not prioritize prioritize themselves, their health or well-being, emotionally, physically, or mentally, just now and then. They weren't completely dedicated to the spiritual purpose. And worst of all, they didn't give anything to themselves, so they had nothing to give to me. They don't support themselves continuously, so they couldn't support me emotionally or and as a friend. And the next worst thing is, if they're just as bad, those two reasons, they did not prioritize friendships. And that's one of the hardest lessons for me the past 15 years, because I am in life without a mother, a father, a sister, a friend, a boyfriend, without cousins and aunts and uncles and etc. That's been rough, but that's what I've chosen, because I couldn't become enlightened and I haven't been able to become the divine and become who I am if I had not made a clean desk and have chosen me. I was going to say, not selected them, but I chose me. 20 years ago, I chose me. I said goodbye to all of them. And I felt so bad for doing that. But the thing is, the first 28 freaking fucking years of mine, I was not chosen. I shared this with you last week. No one has ever chosen me, supported me, or voted me, or cheered for me. And that's been hard the past 19 years of being self-employed and on this, hi Lisbeth, welcome, being on the spiritual journey. But then last week I did a status sitting here with my therapy book. Don't you love it? Love is love. So I realized last week that I had finished that chapter to an A, being very proud of myself, because I've been choosing me with a bad conscience, feeling guilty, like Sanne, choose everyone else, but no one chose me the first 28 years of my life, so I had to choose myself every freaking fucking single day for 20 years, 19 to 20 years. And I felt good, and I felt accomplished, and I felt proud of myself. And you have a similar story and experience that's a part of your purpose. Many friends have said to me, Sanne, we wish that we had your freedom, and we wish that we were where you are in your spiritual purpose, unfolding your Dharma, having done that years ago. And I said, yeah, but you got the man, and you got the children, you got the family. And they said, yeah, but we also got a divorce, and we've been struggling with our children. We always want what we don't have, but we don't play the same cards, and we are not here for the same reasons. Look at the light. What's happening over there? It's not me, it's the light, or those beings that I'm surrounded by. So in this time, everything will fall into places. The pieces will come together in this time, in November and December. But only if you freaking fucking slow down, are quiet, and take a time out and listen in here. Our intuition is not out here, it comes from in here, it comes from emotional sensations. The divine is not out there. And that's where religion is fucked up for, because religion is believing and trusting in an authority out there at the expense of believing and trusting our own inner authority, our own inner divine essence, our divine authority. You have one as well. I'm a leader by heart. I was born like that. I'm not a sheep. I'm not here to follow. I'm here to guide. And I'm not here to be liked by everyone. It's not my intention either. I'm here to like me. And I like who I have become. And we will see, moving into this new chapter, that more and more people, it's a two-way street, because more and more people are waking up. And more of those who have waken up will go to sleep because they haven't done the inner work. If they go to sleep, if they don't go to sleep, they will become ill and call in cancer, because those who help others without helping themselves, those who teach others but don't teach themselves, those who give to others but don't give to themselves, they will become ill. So we have more and more people waking up. We have more and more people being held back, because that's what they've been doing to themselves the past 15 years. They barely haven't learned anything. And many of those who have woken up So there's, let me say that again. So more people than ever are waking up and are seeking the spiritual world. That's why we need more spiritual leaders of tomorrow. Hi Solvej, oppe fra Frederikshavn. Hey Sailor, how are you doing, Sailor? And now Solvej, a junior medic. Well done. Hi Ditte, velkommen. So the thing is, more and more people will have a inner they will feel that something is missing in their life. The spiritual work, the personal development thing, evolving ourselves, asking the right questions, making sure that we are aligned with our body, heart and soul, that we will see more and more people become more and more disconnected. Then they have to pick up themselves in order to become connected. Hi Bitten. It's kind of like the Matrix. So many people are plugged into the system, then they fall out of the capsule, like falling out of the airplane, and then they fall to the ground, and they wake up and they're like, what the fuck just happened? I almost died, I just got out of cancer recovery, and they need to figure out, can I even go back to the life that I once lived? No, you can't, because you're no longer the same, because we've had so many wake-up calls the past 20 years. And if you don't evolve and grow yourself every fucking single day, you will get knocked over by the universe and get a wake-up call, because we're here to wake up. We're here to take the responsibility of making sure that the planet becomes a healthier, more harmonious, loving place for all of us and not just ourselves. I don't do the self-sacrificing, pleasing, serving others to heal a void within myself. I have healed that void. I've chosen myself the past 20 years. I've followed my heart. I've unfolded who I am. I'm not like anyone else, and nor are you, and you're not supposed to. And these are all the lessons unfolding this year. Things are now coming together. You're supposed to slow down, send all of your attention and awareness in, and make sure that you do a status. You write down what was the worst thing about this year. What did I realize this year? What and who did I have to let go of and say goodbye to this year? What did I have to let go of within myself? And now I remember mine. This year I have been supporting people at the price of something that didn't feel right. I was supporting someone else, but then what they wanted and needed became on their terms. So they were controlling and manipulative, and I'm not a person who puts up with that, and it has felt wrong. And when I made the decision to never ever jump into that behavioral pattern, I can call that emotion I had to let go of. I just did these last couple of days. That's why I've been detoxing. I had to let go of being a softie, being too caring, and hoping for the best for everyone, but them not putting in the effort themselves. And it's a special category of very masculine-oriented people with a very low emotional awareness. I may even be so blunt and rude to call them emotionally handicapped. I can't deal with that anymore. It's too rough for me because I have to compensate for it. I'm not going to help or serve or be there for those who's not continuously standing up for themselves. That's also one of my lessons. And even though I'm talking about myself, I hope you can mirror yourself in these lessons and take what you can use and go with it and say, shit, Sanna, that hits hard. I can mirror myself in that. I need more water, and the light today is not good, and I'm so sorry. I could be standing over there with my camera thing, but I don't want to, because otherwise I wouldn't have made a video today. So remember these questions. What have you been struggling with this year? What has been exceptionally hard? What has been chasing you again and again and again like a nemesis this year? Because it's all connected and a part of your past self that you have to disconnect yourself from. And you can only do that by going below the behavior and looking at the wound. I have not received any support, barely any support from anyone ever. And the support I did get this year came with a price of me compromising with myself, being manipulated and controlled by other people, and I had to put up with them talking to me in a way that I was like, Sandy, why the fuck are you putting up with that? But I had to walk out the line, finish the lesson so that I could see it from a new, different perspective, from a new version of myself that I had just birthed these past couple of days. Water. I didn't get the water. I wish some of you were here to ask me questions, but you can always ask me questions, and I would love to answer those in the next couple of days during the next couple of videos. So when you look back at this year and you ask yourself, what kept haunting me? What was so hard? What was I struggling with this year? And what was it related to? Low self-esteem, shame, blame, etc. Hi Anya, welcome. You also have to ask yourself, what did I have to let go of this year? What did no longer serve me? Why do I have to let go of all these behaviors and behavioral patterns and tendencies that we all carry with us? I had to heal up the being a softie, hoping that someone would support me. Hi Inge. So there was a softness within me, but it was not in a positive way. It was being a softie, being too kind, being too caring, being too supportive, but not getting anything back. So what I need to increase now is supporting me even more, making sure that I become an even better, more evolved, energetically aligned version of myself, where I also distance myself more to the outer world and become more connected with myself on the inside. And I do hope that you will turn it around and mirror yourself in this. I see many, many people lying to themselves right now. I can do this and I'm like that and I'm that. Yeah. And why is that? Why will they do that? Because they don't know any better. Because last week, Neptune went out of its retrograde dance, which it has been in for almost 6 months when we think about the shadow period, which we're still in. At the same time, Neptune went out of its 14-year-old dance in Aquarius. And those two signs, which is air and water, is about blurriness. It's about our blindness. Hi, Mom Power. It's about our blind spots. There it is. Our blind spots, our blind ankles. And it's also about lying to ourselves. And it's emotional instability. Psykisk ustabilitet. How do we say that in English? Psychic instability? No, it's not a word. But I've seen that so many people with a luggage and a baggage and a heavy childhood trauma that they haven't unfolded are living in blindness. They're seeing themselves, they're not seeing themselves objectively. They're lying to themselves. They aren't seeing things as they're supposed to see things. So many people are waking up, and when you've had a rough childhood, just like I have, trauma blinds you, for fuck's sake. Trauma makes you unable to see things like they really are. Trauma blindfolds us with a painful blindfold so that we see things like we wish they were. We see things like we assume they were, and even ourselves, I'm better than everyone else. Oh, what people say is true about me. No, it's not. Only your highest, best self knows what the truth is. So many people are waking up seeing things like they truly are now, because Neptune has taken away our blindfolds and will remove all the blind spots and will clear our vision. It's kind of like in last week and this week and the next week, it will feel like we've had our glasses, how do you say that? Polished. We're getting our vision polished. Our clear sentences, our clear sight will be better. And that hurts. It hurts. Hi, Johnny. It hurts to see things in a clearer and better perspective, but better is not necessarily not painful. So that I realized, oh, I'm getting support from someone, but the price that I'm paying is too high and is at the expense of me evolving to the next stage. Fuck, that hurt. But it was also a gift, because then I was able to make a new and better decision moving forward. When Neptune were retrograde, and it still has 1 week left in its shadow phase, we will see a lot of people acting out their worst, lying, being unstable, unreliable, being caught up in their own shit, because that's what Neptune is about. It's challenging us. And it's very interesting that a 9-year-old chapter is ending at the same time that a 14-year-old chapter is ending, and that planet, Neptune, has been retrograde for so long. It's been retrograde for 5 months, but because of its shadow process, which is 2 weeks on each side of those 5 months, it becomes 6 months. So this truly has been a Neptune year. And Neptune is the big blue planet that resonates with the sea god Poseidon. It's about water. It's about emotional fuck up. It's about emotional overwhelmness. Can we use that word? It's about being caught up in our own dramas, only seeing things from our own perspective. And when Neptune has been retrograde for so long, we have been navigating in blindness, and now we're getting out into the darkness, and we're like, oh fuck, why did I put up with that shit? Was I acting like that? Why did that take place? Oh shit, why didn't I do that? So these days, it's about realization. It's about waking up. It's about getting clarity. It's about also, and now comes the final part before I will take off and leave you with lots of questions to yourself. Remember to choose who you will become from moving forward. Last week was from this Monday, from the 15th, if not from Saturday, 15, 16, 17, 18, 15th. From Monday, moving forward, we have to be in the, I will now reprogram myself to become the next version of me, so that when you and I enter the new year, the 1st of January, or when we believe that this year arrives, it might be different for you, we know who we want to become. And we can only become that version when we know what we have to let go of. The fear, the anxiousness, the avoidance, the being too soft, the softy themes, the self-sacrificing, the self-sacrificing tendencies, the pleasing tendencies. So we have come to a place where we have to figure out, what do I have to let go of so that I can evolve and become a new and better, more happy, more fulfilling, more healthy person next year. And I will no longer from the new year do online seminars or membership groups in Danish. That's what has to change for me. I will be sharing much more in English. I will be leaving soon. So if you have a question for me about the year, sweet Fie, now is the time to ask me as a psychic. So you want to ask me about your purpose, you want to ask a psychic questions about the year, now is the time before I leave in a couple of minutes. Let's say you want to be a happier person in 2026 and the new beginning that starts soon. You have to figure out what doesn't make you happy so you can say goodbye to that. If you want to be surrounded by people who are less dramatic, you have to look at the dramatic person within yourself, which is connected to our trauma. If you want to be more healthy and feel more energized and liberated in your body, you have to you have to figure out what's standing there blocking you from becoming that. It could be because you're not eating anti-inflammatory. It could actually also be because you're a vegetarian, but that's not working for you, because many people become ill when becoming a vegetarian. I can't live without the meat. Oh, aren't you sweet? Thank you, Fie. Det var sødt sagt. Tak. You made my day, Fie. So let's talk about you want to be more healthy. You want to feel more free and liberated in your body. You want to stop aging, because when we age, it also hurts and we get more sore joints. But I'm 49 and I'm doing just fine. So let's say you want to feel more energized, more healthy in your body, more flexible. You want to feel more fit and sexy. And who doesn't want that? So you need to eliminate what doesn't make you feel sexy. So we could buy new underwear. That's one thing. We could also just start appreciating this body more. We could start doing some exercises. The 5 Tibetans, is it 5 or 7 Tibetaner? We could do yoga. We could do Egoshku, which I do to stay pain-free. I am pain-free today. We could go out and walk more. We could eat more inflammatory. We could add some Celtic water to get electrolytes into our body, into our water. We could start filtering our water at rent-postevand.dk, pure tap water in Denmark. We can buy this thing to pour water from. It costs 70 crowns to get purified water without pesticides and heavy metals and other shit. And I got a double filter on my table, including shipment, is only 300 crowns. That will increase your health and your kidneys, and you will feel much more lighter and much more optimized when you drink your water. So think about what do you want to achieve and what's standing in the way. If you and I want to feel happier and more fulfilled in life, we have to let go of the past version of us that pulled in drama, complications, dramatic people. But I will leave you now because I'm hungry and I'm gonna make my dinner. Do you not want to know what I have for dinner? So I made kødsovs. I made meatballs and I added proteins, extra proteins, chickpeas and quinoa and, how do you say that? Cow's meat, oxicle. And I added lots of vegetables and I eat it with salad. So that's my dinner. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you got inspired to make some changes. And I hope I learned you something new about yourself and that you could mirror yourself in my story. Thank you so much for dropping by. And to Fie as well. Glædelig jul, Fie. Merry Christmas. See you tomorrow.